All right, welcome back to Bands and Beers, the podcast where we crack open a beer and sit down with musicians doing cool stuff. I'm Nikki.
And I'm Kyle.
Today we're hanging out with buffchiq, a New Jersey-based band, and trying a beer from New Jersey Beer Co. in North Bergen. Let's get rolling. Kyle, you want to talk a little bit about our weekend?
Our weekend was a lot of fun. We hung out with a good friend for a birthday. Bunch of friends, bunch of good drinks and food. What was the name of the place we went to?
It was a place in Little Italy called Il Cortile. Our friend is a big Sopranos fan, as we all are, because who's not? And this place was significant because it was the place that when a cast member got killed off, the production team would bring them to the restaurant for like a goodbye dinner.
Oh, that's so mobster.
Very mobster, very
Love
New
that.
Jersey. Got to keep it on brand. So
Yeah. Luckily,
lots of
we
food.
did not get murdered.
No one got murdered last night.
I was a little skeptical, especially when they told me that story. I was like, "Are we gonna get killed off as your friends?" But I think we're still friends.
Yeah, I think we survived the dinner. Great dinner, great food, good times. Moving forward with the podcast here, we are going to get kicking it off with our beer history. Get some paper towels ready because we're about to shake up your beer with some beer history facts.
That's right, Nikki. Instead of our usual segment, Beer News, for the next few episodes, we will share a quick piece of beer history. Today, we're chatting about something that sounds true, gets repeated a lot, but isn't quite right. One of the biggest beer myths out there is that IPAs, or Indian Pale Ales, were invented so beer could survive the long trip when England began exporting beer to India. It makes sense on the surface. Longer trip on the sea, more hops, higher alcohol. But historically, that's not actually why IPAs exist. Regular pale ales were already being shipped to India in the 1700s and surviving the journey just fine. What changed wasn't the beer's ability to travel, it was consumer taste. British officers and merchants stationed in India developed a preference for paler, hoppier beers. Breweries back in England started brewing specifically to meet that demand. Hops do have preservative qualities, but the extra hopping wasn't an emergency fix, it was a stylistic choice. So IPAs weren't created to save beer from spoiling, they were created because the drinkers asked for something brighter, more bitter, and more expressive. So brewers responded.
Wow, that's crazy. That must be such a seriously believed myth because I was reading a beer history book recently that claimed the IPA was invented solely for surviving transportation to India. Now I know the truth. Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah, maybe that had to do with part of it, but it's very interesting to find out that the flavor profile was very important to them as well.
Always bringing us the real deal on beer history. If you're driving down Tunnelly Avenue in North Bergen, you're usually looking for a shortcut around traffic, not a craft brewery. But New Jersey Beer Co. isn't your typical curb appeal spot. Founded in 2010 by an IT consultant who lived just a block away, this place was built on the idea that Jersey beer should be just as tough as the people drinking it. But here's why they're legendary. They literally refused to drown. In 2012, Superstorm Sandy slammed the coast, and North Bergen wasn't spared. The brewery was swallowed by the surge. We're talking waist-high watermarks that you can still see on the taproom walls today. At the time, they had their first ever batch of Long Beach Island IPA sitting in the fermentation tanks. While the warehouse was dark and underwater, that beer was sealed tight, riding out the storm. When the water subsided and the lights flickered back on, that batch hadn't just survived, it was perfect. It became the flagship that saved the company. Today, they remain fiercely local, refusing to distribute outside of New Jersey. They aren't trying to be a national giant, they're just the brewery that stayed afloat when the Atlantic tried to take them down. Now let's talk about a beer that proves that brewers in North Bergen are just as nerdy as they are resilient. We're looking at their IPA, Bears, Beets, Battlestar Galactica. If you've seen the show The Office, you know the drill. This is a liquid tribute to Jim Halpert's ultimate Dwight Schrute impersonation. It's part of their pop culture series, sitting on the shelf next to other fan favorites like their Munder Difflin, little play on words there, and hoppier things. The build, ABV, very approachable 5%. This isn't a heavy hitter that'll leave you under the desk. It's a daily driver for the long shift at Dunder Mifflin. The hops, they use the holy trinity of classic American C hops, Centennial, Cascade, and Amarillo. It's a throwback IPA, none of that hazy milkshake sweetness here. You're getting bright citrus, a hint of floral notes, that old school piney finish that Kyle loves. IBU, while they keep the exact number close to the vest, it sits at that crisp, clean 35 to 45 IBU range. Enough of a bite to let you know it's an IPA, but smooth enough to crush during an office marathon. It's a beer made by fans for fans. No actual beets were harmed in the making of this brew. But the result is a crisp West Coast style IPA that hits harder than a shroot on a sales call. Identity theft isn't a joke, but this beer is a total win. All right, Kyle, you ready?
I'm ready. I love everything you said there. I love all the play on words. I love The Office, so I'm very excited to try this beer.
Don't you have family in the area that The Office was filmed in?
I do. So both of my parents have lived in Scranton, Pennsylvania for quite a while now. Possibly up to 8 years. I'm not sure the exact number, but it's been a while. And the first several times I visited them, they gave me the office tour. And that's not where they work. That's literally taking me to the places that are referenced around Scranton in the Office television show. I got to see a lot of the restaurants that were referenced. I got to see the paper company that it was based off of. Lots of cool stuff. Streets that are referenced in the show. My dad never watched The Office until he moved to Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Mr. Cook.
He was like, I gotta understand what all the hubbub's about, you know. So he's a funny guy, and he became a pro basically overnight, and showed me all this stuff, which I thought was super cool.
That's amazing. It's really interesting when a town becomes famous for something that was filmed in it.
Yeah.
When I was in Washington State about 6 months ago, I visited a town called Forks, Washington, which is where they filmed the Twilight series. And when you visit a town that's claim to fame is a show or a movie, the entire town becomes about that.
Yes.
So every store you go to, it references it.
Yep.
They actually, their local economy can thrive off of the fan base going there.
Yeah, tourism that otherwise wouldn't have existed. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a real pride in Scranton for The Office. Yeah, it's just like you said, you know, some of the restaurants even have gift shops just full of Office merch.
Any way to bring it back to that brand. The Office is definitely like a feel-good safety show for me, like when I'm sick, or I remember even when I got my COVID shot back in COVID days when I was feeling the effects of that, just the whole night I was watching The Office, and it made me feel so much better. I always have good memories of watching that and feeling good.
Yeah, I think I watched the whole show like 5 times. Anyway, suffice to say, very excited to try. Cheers.
Absolutely. I can tell this is going to be good. I can just tell.
Yeah, I would chug that right now.
I knew it was going to be good.
I would chug that whole thing.
It's beautiful. Hold it up. Look at the color here. It's just got this golden, bright, starchy look to it. It's beautiful. It's easy on the palate. It's got some nice carbonation coming up to the top. We love it.
Yeah.
And like the description we read before, it doesn't have that milkshakey taste to it.
Yep.
And sometimes I like that. Do you like when an IPA is kind of milkshakey?
For sure. Yeah, I think it gives a different flavor palette, and it kind of depends on my mood and the environment and what I'm eating, perhaps. This is very bright, very crisp, very piney, like you said. This would be great in the summertime. Maybe you're going to a brewery in the afternoon, doing a little bit of day drinking. I would just crush these.
Crush. And the can is super cool. It's got Dwight on it. Give everybody a little look at that. And it's got that brown branding of The Office behind it.
Yeah, I love how they went with the simplistic design here.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily, who it is, but there's like no details in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome. Well, another good one in the books. What a great beer segment. I haven't been to this brewery yet. It's on my list. I'm excited to go there and try that flagship beer that helped them survive the storm. I will be at New Jersey Beer Co. soon. Everybody look out. I'll go there and I will destroy all their beers.
Watch out. Anyway, today we're sitting down with buffchiq. They're about to arrive, so we're going to get the studio ready, and we're really excited for this conversation. Stick around.
Okay, welcome back. We are here with our guest, buffchiq. We are so excited to have them on today. First, a little cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome to Bands and Beers.
Welcome.
If you guys can just tell us your names, tell us what you play in the band, give us the DL.
I guess I will go first. I'm Ailed. I am the lead singer and founder of buffchiq. I used to be the bassist, but I've handed that off to my husband.
No, I guess I'll go next. I'm Mike. I play bass for buffchiq. I used to play guitar for buffchiq, and I also do a lot of arrangement work with Ailed when she writes songs. So that's what I do.
Nice.
My name is Matt. Me and our friend Ricky it took two of us to replace Mike on guitar. He's that good.
Wow.
So I play rhythm guitar for buffchiq, and I've been playing with y'all for almost 2 years now.
Yeah. 2 years.
So the history, let's also go down the line one more time. Tell us a little bit about how you got into music, your upbringing, and all that.
Sure. So I'm primarily a singer. I've been singing for basically my whole life. In and out of choirs. I have a different musical history, so I'll perform in like barbershop quartets, and I've been in like synth pop groups and R&B groups as like a backup singer. And I think like all that experience, like I wanted to start a band that was like truly my own voice. And I wanted to learn a new instrument. So I was like, all right, why don't we try bass and see what happens? So I started writing songs on bass with whatever ideas I had. And I was also starting therapy, so I was like in a really heightened emotional state. But that's a little bit about my background. Just like primarily singer, and then I picked up bass.
My mom played piano in the house growing up, and my sister also took piano lessons. And then I decided I wanted to play guitar. I think the decision was influenced by the fact that I was grossly into video games, specifically Sonic the Hedgehog.
Amazing.
And I heard like some song in Sonic Adventure that blew my mind so much. I wanted to just like make that sound. So I asked my parents for a guitar, and I started on like a nylon string, like a classical guitar, but playing with a pick. But it didn't sound like an electric guitar, so I kind of didn't really get that interested into it until I decided to like upgrade to an electric. But I feel like the rest is kind of history from there. Like I've always just wanted to pursue like making those types of sounds on guitar.
Amazing.
And that's how I got into like.
He still makes those sounds. Like he was making those sounds earlier today.
It's really, really cool. I love that.
No, it's funny because personally I resonate with that so much, because for me it was playing Guitar Hero. That was like...
Oh, that's another one. And actually, when those games came out, it was really validating to me, actually. My parents mostly listened to like classic rock, so those were all the songs I knew when I was in like middle school. And no one else, like none of my friends listened to that stuff, and like women I was interested in definitely weren't listening to that stuff. So I had to pretend I like pop punk and that stuff until I started actually liking that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Rock Band came out, it kind of exposed a lot of people my age to like older music. So I found like I could relate better on talking about that music now.
That's so funny because in high school, like I had like a beater of a car, and it only took two stations. And one of the stations was like the classic rock station. So I didn't grow up listening to classic rock at all. My parents would play like salsa music in the house.
Oh,
wow.
So
nice.
having the station did expose me to classic rock, but I never knew who I was listening to until I heard Rush.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay, this.
I love the idea
We're
of
very
an
big
almost
Rush fans.
like forced impression in music.
Yeah.
It's like you have to listen to this because you don't really have a
Yeah, I
choice.
have no. It was either that or Delilah, and I love Delilah,
fan,
but
yeah.
sometimes you need something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delilah. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to like fall asleep with these radio headphones on, and I would fall asleep to Delilah.
I had those too.
Get out. Really? You know what? I don't know if you had the same ones. I had like these big blue ones.
Mine were yellow, like
Okay.
the old Sony ones.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
like real tough. Like
Yeah, they were. I eventually broke them, but my dad used them to mow the lawn, and then I used them to mow the lawn, and I just kept them.
Amazing.
Amazing.
That's so sick. So outside of your cool Sony headphones, anything else that influenced you getting to become a musician when you were growing up?
Anything 90s music is like really it for me. But in high school, I was a pop punk kid. Sorry, Mike.
I became
It
it.
happens. It's like an infection if you live in New Jersey. This
I
scene
straightened my
works.
hair,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of the '90s emo, grunge, pop, punk, like all that stuff. And I didn't really start playing guitar till I had already graduated school. But I needed a creative outlet, and that became playing guitar, getting lessons, and then during the pandemic, forming a band, and it all led to joining buffchiq.
Amazing. Wait, so you didn't start playing music until after you graduated college?
I was 23 when I started playing guitar.
Wow, we never really hear that on here. How did you become so good at your instrument so quickly?
I'm not good at it. I'm always
the secret.
He is good at
I
it.
was
We listened to you guys before this, and I would disagree with you. I'll let you have your comedic relief moment.
Yeah. I think it's just having a focus. Like rhythm guitar has been really like the focus of, and that helps because grunge and hardcore is a lot of rhythm. Obviously, there's cool lead stuff and riff stuff as well, but I think I found like a focus, and that's helped be an integral part of the creative projects that I joined.
Yeah, so clear to me. I think sometimes when you're starting an instrument and you have a specific genre in mind, you're just like targeting that one sound. So you're just getting good at that. And you're like biting off smaller pieces versus trying to master everything.
Exactly.
So I can definitely relate to that a lot. So very cool that you guys all shared your unique stories individually around how you got to music. Curious about how you became a band, if you can just recap like from the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
A little more detail. You shared some bits and pieces,
yeah.
but the whole story.
So I was like going through a mental break at some point, and I was like, man, I really have to go to therapy. And Mike like was truly like an anchor in getting me through that period. And he pushed me to go to therapy, pushed me to like really start taking my musical ideas seriously, because at the time, like, I had a couple friends that had moved away. Some of them I was like collabing with musically. So all my music projects had died down at the time. And I was like, man, I don't really have an outlet right now. So after that, I started writing songs on bass. I had a lot of songs and like a lot of ideas. But eventually we had Mike's family puts on this like backyard music festival almost every year. It's his mom's unofficial birthday party, but she doesn't like to recognize it, which is okay. But we had a date set, and it rained that weekend, so we had to get postponed it to another date, and 2 of the bands dropped. And I had been working on my songs for quite a bit with like another drummer that we had, and Mike was like, well, maybe like buffchiq can open. And I was like, okay, I've never played bass in front of anyone. And these are really personal songs, but all right. So that was our first show, and it was like in front of like 100-something people, his family, my family. It was like I was really, really nervous, and we only had a 20-minute set, but I was like, this is fine. And that was like the first of our shows, and we slowly started getting a couple more shows. At that point, it was just a 3-piece. And then eventually Mike wanted to pursue something else, but I was like, maybe you can try bass because it's hard for me to sing and play at the same time. So that's when I met up with Matt, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in playing rhythm guitar? I had another lead guitarist that was interested in the project, Ricky. And from there, it was just like we were writing songs that were original ideas, but what they bring to it is a different spin, I guess. Like Matt was saying, his like grunge and punk like background really just adds to it. And also the history of the name. I have a band name list with my friend, and I remember one of the days we went to Applebee's or some kind of chain restaurant, and I ordered wings, and on the receipt, the way they write the wings was buffchiq with a Q at the end. I was like, I'm going to put that down in the list.
I love this.
That's incredible.
As a big fan of Applebee's buffalo chicken wings, it's really interesting.
Yeah. I was like, this is perfect for me because, like, I'm not necessarily buff. I do, like, go to the gym, but, like, I'm not the buffest chick around, but it doesn't stand for being a buff chick. It stands for buffalo chicken.
There you go. You
and I stand on that.
Oh, my
Wow,
gosh. I love this so much.
So you guys all meet, you start playing together, you start
Yeah.
getting into shows. How does it become, or does it not become, a collaboration with your newer material and writing since that original period where you were kind of on your own?
Right now, it's become more of like a collaborative environment. I would say, like, really, I would have an idea or like a snippet of idea, skeleton. I'd bring it to Mike. He's got a really good ear for what I'm looking for and the direction I'm trying to go. And usually he'll just like produce it all himself because he can play other instruments too. And recently we've been trying to bring ideas to rehearsals. So we had like a songwriting day where we got together and like worked on an idea that I had. I have a couple more ideas I want to bring to them. I haven't shared yet.
The idea we're working on is really good.
I really like it. Yeah. But I think like over time, feeling really comfortable with who I'm playing music with, I think really helped. We recently brought on a new drummer, and he's really, really great. Our drummer, Max. He's like kind of got more of like a metal background. So he's bringing something completely refreshing to the music that we're writing. So it's really exciting seeing what he's bringing to the group. And I think that also helped me push to like collaborate more with everybody, because that's what I'm used to with my other projects, is collaborating. So I don't know if that answered your question.
It definitely does.
Absolutely.
Your drummer can really drive a lot of how your overall sound plays out.
Yeah.
Are there any influences that when you're writing, either individually or collectively, that you either intentionally or unintentionally want to sound like?
I'll let Matt take that one first.
I always think about No Doubt when I think about buffchiq.
Yep.
Like the cool era of Gwen Stefani.
Love
And
it.
I think it's like I don't want to say we're cooler than No Doubt, but I think we're getting there. And a lot of 90s influence, like not just pop, but also like a lot of like the harsher guitar tones, but that are still meeting that like pop sound. And iLed's voice also carries that through a lot. And it just sounds really good, and I like it. So
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like your voice. I don't know how you would characterize it, but when I listen to it, it's got kind of this like smoky smoothness to it. And then the pop punkier or like more rock elements compared to that just make this sound so unique. And I can kind of see how you would compare that to a No Doubt, because Gwen Stefani's voice is also a little more smoky, but yours has a little bit more of like a blues or a jazz, like really hitting home. Can you tell us about how you started getting into singing, and if you had any training, or if there's anyone you model your vocal style after?
Yeah, so I totally agree with that smoky. That's exactly how I describe my own voice, as a smoky type of
Very cool.
timbre. It feels like the most me. Sometimes when I'm listening to a song or I want to do a cover, like inadvertently try to sound like that singer, and I'm like, that's not right. I want to sound like me.
Yeah. And
so one of the songs that we have is about like me trying to find my own voice throughout the years, and what does that mean to me. And to answer your question about like training, I have vocal training. I have a degree in music, like an associate's in music performance. I've sung like those Italian arias and all that stuff. But in terms of like finding my own voice, the jazz elements come from singing barbershop music. I used to sing in a group called Brown Eyed Girls, and we would like compete regionally. We have a couple second, third place medals for regional competitions. Wow. And I sing bass with that group. So a lot of the bass melodies are like a lot of fifths. They can be jazzy. Sometimes they'll take the lead. So I feel like some of my influences from singing barbershop went into the stuff that I'm writing now. Cause like Mike can attest to this, that some of the leads, they'll always like go to like a specific chord or like a specific jazzy chord. And I'm like, how do I get away from this? I don't want to be too predictable. But that's kind of like how I really got into training my own voice and finding my voice after a few years, I would say.
You said you sang bass. Are you a tenor?
So, yeah, I would say I would fit into like a tenor one. Like if it was like a traditional SATB, I would fit into a tenor voice, or some people call it contralto. But yeah, that kind of area. But barbershop voicing is different. So it goes from the highest voice tenor to then lead, baritone, and then bass. And I would never sing baritone because that part is weird.
Too weird.
It's really weird.
I agree with the smoky, very sultry, almost it kind of reminds me of Dua Lipa almost. Just that like sultry
times.
Voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, as a producer, I mean, the support you must be for Eyelid, from what I'm hearing, is probably incredible. You have a lot of, I assume, experience working with all these different instruments. Would you say producing music is something that you pursue outside of this band regularly? And how many different like genres are you trying to do? Do you keep a focus?
It's interesting because at one point I think I wanted to pursue being a producer in terms of like what that would look like as a career. But at a certain point when my career kind of just shifted into more of like audiovisual work, when I would get home from work, I look at like producing now almost as a way to like just like unwind and have fun. And that's kind of how I look at the bands too. So if I could use that time that I want to be using to just make my craft better, if it's producing like a demo for buffchiq or something, like that to me is a really good use of my time, because it's also helping out the band too. As far as like types of things I want to produce, I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. So I think once I start spending enough time listening to one particular style, I always start listening to it analytically. Like if I were going to make something like this, how would I do it? And it's a weird part of how you begin to appreciate music when you listen to it. You have that producer mindset. You start thinking every time, how would I do this? How would I do this? So now when I really get into a piece of like an album or a new artist or something, I know it's because I'm trying to figure out what it is that they're doing. You know what I mean?
What's the recipe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of like after doing it I've been working in like Ableton Live for over 15 years. I pirated that shit when I was like 12 years old, dude. And I never stopped. I mean, I bought it eventually. Now I have a job and shit. But yo, when you're 12, steal software. Steal software.
Steal.
Please.
That is so funny.
These companies have more than enough money. Steal it up.
They don't need $600. Don't ask your mom for $600.
Yeah.
Please.
That is so funny. I feel like all my guy friends when I was younger, they always used to try to like pitch me Ableton. Like men love Ableton. They just do.
Yeah.
What's the feminine DAW then? What's the counterpart?
I think it's Logic.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, because the UI is a little bit
User-friendly.
like smoother,
Yeah.
and Logic is
Shout
like
It definitely
prettier.
is. You're not wrong.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Shout out to
very-
Audacity. I would use Audacity
Shout
to
out,
do,
nice.
to do
Yeah.
my little demos in my
Especially
bedroom.
OG, yeah, like back in the day, Audacity was very accessible.
It was. To pirate Logic was hard. I had to like talk to like a friend of a friend of a friend on like AIM instant message, and then like give me this code. It's like this crazy millennial thing that I had to do. So it's super funny. I think it's cool how you said that even though music, in terms of like producing music, is not your primary job, even though you made the decision to not pursue that as your primary job, it's this thing that helps you unwind when you're not working. Do any of you guys do music like full time? Do you have day jobs? Can you tell us about your day jobs if music's not your full time gig?
I work for the Michael J. Fox Foundation. I
Interesting.
actually just came from a red-eye flight from Vegas.
Wow.
What we were doing there. That was actually
Bless.
more volunteer work, but we're trying to find a cure for Parkinson's. I do IT for them. I've become like the cool IT guy, I guess, if there is such a thing.
Sweet.
Remains
There
to be
is.
seen. Yeah. But I've been there for 6 years, and I think they are aware that I'm in these creative projects, so they'll like, I could take like a half day. If I need to be somewhere on time, even if I'm going to a show, I'll be like, look, I got to go to this thing. And
So good.
yeah. And they're really like flexible with stuff like that. But the impact, like having to work a job where there's an impact, in with patients and stuff like that. Even though I'm working internally, it's nice to go fly out to Vegas, meet patients, and see that like there's a real impact. And then being there for so long, and then they know maybe too much about me, but it helps like make the music stuff a lot more flexible and accessible.
Yeah, it's so important as an artist to work somewhere that allows you to go do your thing when you need to.
Absolutely.
It's rare, and I'm happy you found it because it can make such a difference.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a senior exec admin at like a financial firm.
Nice.
I have a similar story to Matt where it's like my day job helps fund my creative outlet. So I have that flexibility to, if I need to take a day off or a half day. Also, the accessibility part was like really important because coming as a first generation, person, daughter of immigrants, a lot of times like kids like me don't have access to music programs or just the financial burden that it could be to be a musician. I'm very lucky that I carry my instrument with me. I know Mike's poured a lot of money into his craft. But even just like forming a band, that you have to be the manager, you have to be the promoter, you have to, I very much believe in paying people for their art. So like if it's a flyer, if it's a sticker design, if it's like, recording a music video, whatever, like I want to go with people that are local. I want to support local businesses. So being able to have a day job helps me fund people that are also doing their own craft too. So, and it's like building that collaboration with other art forms too. So having that accessibility really, really drove my musical journey, I guess.
Yeah. And you mentioned being the daughter of immigrants and some of the challenges with that, financial burdens and stuff. How are you feeling now, grown into yourself as an adult individual in our society and having faced all those challenges? Just give us a little bit more color on that.
It was very different growing up because I grew up in an area, especially like as a teenager, I grew up in an area that was predominantly white. And, both my parents have accents. My mom like works at a bank and like she experienced a lot of racism just for her accent. I also experienced some racism going through school. So I think like there's always this sense of like wanting to prove yourself, but like growing up means like proving yourself to yourself. It's not necessarily proving yourself to others. And that's something that I had to learn throughout the years. Because my mom would do that all the time. Like one of the things she would say when she had a customer that was like blatantly racist to her, she'd be like, they hate me now, but they're going to need me in like 2 weeks. And then they're going to love me. And, you know, and my dad was always like, whatever you are, just be good at what you do. So if I am folding shirts at a Modell's or I am a senior exec, whatever, I just like pour everything into what I'm doing. And that reflects into my music and my relationships and people I meet. So I think like having immigrant parents just brings a different perspective to how I move throughout life.
Yeah. Something really interesting you just said is that your mom would say to you, they hate me now, but they're going to need me. Like that's the definition of community, is that we all need each other. That we live in a society, we all rely on each other, we need each other. And I think we've lost sight of that in this individualistic culture that we're like people have shifted into. So that's I think that's like my takeaway from your mom saying that is we have to remember that we're a community and we're different, but we're all people and we need each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
as cliche as it sounds.
For sure.
But thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Really deep stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
my sense
Yeah.
of community has always been in music and the people I've played with, the people I've played for, the people I go to support and watch them perform. So what kind of places have you guys been performing, and what kind of communities have you been in and out of? You also mentioned other projects, so that expands your horizons and your community as well.
Oh,
So.
yeah. I'll let Mike start.
Oh man, what are our communities? Gamers, nerds. Nah, we have a nice bunch of people who come out to follow the band and stuff at shows, and because the different styles of music we do are so like have vastly different fan bases, I feel like it's kind of like interesting to see how they converge. So like I'm also in a band that does like J-rock, Japanese rock
I know
music.
you guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
They
Okay. Yeah, and we play like anime cover tunes and stuff. So
That's so cool.
a lot of our gigs aren't at like traditional, you know, like bars and like club venues. Like we have to play these like conventions and stuff sometimes. And those are totally weird because you're not playing to people. Some of the people you're playing to, it's like their first show ever.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like they've never seen music performed live before and like don't even know how to respond to it sometimes. So my challenge with that band, I feel like, is trying to bring it more local. Where with buffchiq, I think we're looking to expand into like different cities and stuff. We're looking at different ways we could do that with promoting this the new music we have coming out and stuff.
And Matt, what are some of the venues? What are some of your favorites that you guys have played?
Any VFW in New Jersey.
Hell yeah. I love it.
And any place in Brooklyn that doesn't charge a door fee
Yes.
Rare.
is the real answer. But it's been I'm trying to pick a favorite. Both bands, buffchiq and my other band, we've both played Bowery Electric. I think that's my favorite.
Oh,
That's a
cool.
good one, yeah.
I heard a rumor that it's about to get swallowed by private equity. I hope it's not true.
Oh, that's awful.
But yeah, I mean, 2026, right?
Yeah.
What do you like about it the most, would you say?
They didn't charge us $500 to play there. It's in the Lower East Side of Manhattan, which is always like fun. It's like a little like cheaper area to have fun in New York City. And I already like the area, and the staging is really sick.
We saw Tom Kenny there.
Yeah, we saw.
Oh, yeah.
Like the voice
Yeah.
of SpongeBob. He played
No?
like
Yeah.
he
He played a
played.
jazz band there.
No, it was like it was like
jazz
soul
band?
music.
Oh, yeah,
it was
soul
like 50s soul
Equally
music.
niche.
Yeah, it was sick. He did like 2 full sets of soul music. It was awesome.
Wow.
played the same stage as Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
I can't wait to overlay SpongeBob laughs over this part of the podcast.
Wait, did he just like not mention that he does Sponge? Was he like
he
trying to be
mentioned it.
covert about or
No, everyone knows. Like,
Everybody knows.
everyone knows. The moment you hear him talk, you're like,
Yes.
oh, that's SpongeBob.
Oh yeah.
The crowd was really
So he leans
like
into it.
diverse that day.
Yeah,
a
it
lot
really
of
was.
older people, and then also just SpongeBob fans.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible. What a
Yeah.
way to bring together so many different people.
Yeah, we're trying to reach the
Yeah.
SpongeBob fans out there. I
Yeah,
think.
you heard it here.
SpongeBob had some good music in it. That,
Truly.
Yeah.
The what's it called in the movie when they do like the Twisted Sister cover? It's better than the original version.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, yeah.
it's so much better.
It
Countless
is.
good songs.
It is.
Yeah, I think like some of the venues, like especially after the pandemic, like it's just changed how like venues are now, and like people coming out to venues. I think, like one of my favorites was like Boon Tunes, and I really liked, what was the other one in Boonton? Red House.
Oh yeah,
Red House
Red
didn't
House
make
is-
it
Yeah, I
out.
went to that.
Yeah,
that's good.
but we've been playing at like the Sanctuary over in Butler. I really like that space because they've built a really cool thing there. They're run by like volunteers and they have a board of directors and stuff like that. Yeah, like the Sanctuary, Big and Tall, is like a really cool venue. I love the vibe there too. I played like a cover show there. It was really, really cool. And then I would say another venue that I really enjoyed playing was Bowery Electric for sure. I played there with my old band
that's right.
too. And just actually both my old bands. Cause,
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Clown Baby did a
Oh, that's right.
show there too. Yeah, so I really like those venues a lot. And I hope to play more shows there in the future, so long as Bowery doesn't get bought out by...
I mean, I'm sure another place will always rise up
Yeah.
from the ashes, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. It replenishes
You
itself.
recently recorded a music video at a viral pizza place in Rutherford.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, are they viral now?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Tell us
Dave's
about
doing
that.
a lot for the... Yeah, so I remember when it first came up, because I believe it used to be a donut shop.
Oh,
Top
yes,
that.
that's right.
Top That Donuts.
Yes.
Yeah. So it used to be a donut shop, and I was like, oh, Casano's, it looks really good. I tried their pizza a couple, like a year or so ago, when we had a show around the corner at Social Club Records. And I was like, the whole premise of the music video is like visiting local places, just like having like a dream-like kind of vibe. But I was like, this living room, because the inside of the pizza shop is like your grandma's living room.
Literally, that's like why it's starting to like blow up on
Yeah,
social media.
but also
It's
their
very unique.
vodka chicken parm is so good.
I want to try it. So
I gotta
bad.
try it.
I've never had chicken parm that stayed that crispy with the sauce on top.
all right, pause, because I don't know if you know Paisanos. Do you know Paisanos?
Off the street,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
sounds good too.
For a very long time, my girlfriend and I are obsessed with vodka chicken parm. We've been saying that exact sentence that you just said
Really?
about their chicken parm. So now I gotta try this
You gotta do
and
a side by
compare.
side.
Maybe do a side by
Yeah.
side. They're literally like 500 feet away from each other.
Yeah.
I'm
gotta-
telling you,
it's gonna be a tight match. I'll
Okay,
tell you that.
good. Okay.
It's
You gotta have them
amazing.
like back to back.
Casanos,
pretty good.
Paisanos, back to back, and they serve it at Casanos. They serve it like in a pizza right?
box.
It
Yeah.
looks so good. Every time I
Yeah.
see it on TikTok or something, I'm like, I have to go.
Yeah, I see it
Nice.
come up on like Facebook groups. There's this guy that runs around New Jersey trying different pizza places. He's
Yep.
like, you gotta try the chicken parm. Yeah.
Amazing.
But I was like, this is like a perfect place to film like part of our music video. I went in one day and I was looking for the owner. I was like, oh, I'm looking for the owner or the manager or whatever. And he's like, it's me. And he's there making pizzas,
Yes.
Dave. He's there making pizzas and like working, like he's taking orders. And I'm like, oh, I have a band. I want to record a music video in your living room. Would that work out? He's like, take my number. And like super New Jersey too.
Yes.
I don't know if he's from New Jersey, but it was very New Jersey.
Yep.
So he let us film there one day before they opened, and it was really cool. They were super nice, and of course we had to order some pizzas before we left. Great pizza. Another local spot that we went to, not in Rutherford but over in Hillsdale, was Lou's Tavern. And we needed to have like a huge group of people as like an audience. So we asked a bunch of our friends to come. We did put on a show as well. And the one person that works there, Michelle, she was like just so great and like helped us like get the show going, let us get in there to record part of our music video. And it's just like nice to feature like really cool local New Jersey spots. And I wanted to highlight that in the music video.
Yeah, I love that because there are so many good local spots. So many. And there's so many that you can't even, you don't even know where to go first. So that's cool. It's really nice that he let you record there.
Yeah.
And I also love you said like he was the one who was making all the pizzas and taking the order. That's how you know a place is good.
That's right.
True.
When you go to the counter and the owner's behind the counter and they're involved in everything and they're making sure everything is quality, that's how you know a place is good. That's like number one thing.
That's
Yeah,
right.
he was like putting the elbow grease in, like, yeah.
I love it. I'm here for it. So did you grow up in New Jersey?
I did. I was born in Florida, but when I was like 2, we moved up to like North Jersey, North Bergen. We lived there for a bit, and then my family moved to like Sussex County.
Oh, really?
When I was like 10. So that's where the predominantly white comes in.
Yep.
What part of I grew up like on the border of Morrison, Sussex.
Oh, okay.
In Kinnelon, if you know where
Oh,
that
yeah,
is.
I know where that
So I know what you're talking about. Where in Sussex County did you grow up?
So I went to like Vernon High School.
Vernon?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Very close to where I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mountain Creek.
I worked there. I was a lift operator there. I worked at the Models in Newton. That's closed now.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah, so that really taught me that long drives are okay.
Yeah, that's how you learn. When you live up there, that's how you learn. I mean, I always, when people ask me about where I grew up, I say we had a movie theater.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And we had a Burger King, and that was pretty much it.
Yep. I
Lots
know
of
which
things.
one you're talking about.
Yeah, you know. It was the movie theater. It was called like Clearview Cinema.
Yep.
It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there?
Yeah.
It survived this whole time?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
still
so,
there.
yeah.
Is that in the
Bless.
mini mall and the Kinnelon Mall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Kinnelon
I
Mall.
used to play Smash Brothers tournaments there.
Oh, in like the game place?
Yeah, the Hitbox Arena, I think it was called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
That place
funny.
was a liminal space.
Our first date was in Kinnelon, actually,
was,
like
yeah.
at the
Really?
Stop and Shop that used to be there.
Yeah, that's so crazy. That's
Very weird.
unbelievable.
So every time I drive past, when I'm driving to see my parents, I'm like, oh, I met my husband there.
That's so precious.
It's a Wawa now, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like, we need more Wawas on Route 23. Enough, please. Stop with the Wawas.
I think there should be more Wawas, actually. They just don't all need to be on highways. There should be more.
There should be more just back road Wawas.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Less
think we
highway.
should bring Sheets into New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
I love Sheets.
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm
So good.
What's your Sheets order?
I really love the Schmisket. And
Schmisky.
yeah, it's like a biscuit, and then you can have whatever breakfast thing in it.
Delicious.
And then I actually really like their cold brew too. Their cold
Yeah,
brew
they
is
have
pretty
good
good.
coffee there.
Yeah,
I've never had that before.
yeah.
My mom's from Pennsylvania, so a lot of drives,
Yep.
like getting Sheets. And she would bribe me in the car to be good on the car ride by promising me Mountain Dew slushie and nachos.
Ooh,
So that was my order.
nice.
Yeah, that would really keep me content as a kid. I was like just in a vibe in the backseat of the van with
You,
the nachos.
you need that like
Flow
salt
state.
when you're in the car for
Yeah.
a long time. You gotta like get some salt in you to not get like car sick. I don't know if you ever felt that. Like,
I guess it's like electrolytes.
yeah, maybe.
Or something.
So it's the
It's something,
electrolytes.
all right. But yeah, I'm definitely team Sheets. We got to bring some more
Yeah,
Sheets in
bring
Jersey.
Sheets into New Jersey.
So, bringing it back to your music real quick, we had a funny situation before you guys. Usually, before artist comes over, we like to play their music in the background while we set up the studio. We had a little bit of trouble finding your music on
yeah.
Spotify. So, I'd love for you to fill our listeners in on what kind of music is available on the internet and where. Sometimes it's not on Spotify, sometimes it's somewhere else. And if you have any plans to release anything on platforms like Spotify.
Yeah, so we do have our song Mind Blown Out. That's probably the one that you saw on Spotify. That one's about how I broke up with said therapist that I started seeing early in the buffchiq journey, I guess. And then we this should be out by now, but we have our song Changes out. It's more of a ballad, more of like that, Melissa Etheridge fan, like favorite type of song about like going through life. But if you dug a little deeper, you would find on Bandcamp, I was gifted FL Studios during the pandemic by my husband. And I decided to put out a like 5 or 6 song EP that's completely electronic. It's called Cite Your Sources, Daddy.
What a cool name. Wait, you have to tell us about this name. Please.
There's a good one. There is a story there.
Yeah, I actually don't. I just like that. I don't know. It just came to me one
Like,
day.
this is cool.
Yeah, I was like, that's what it's going to be called. I'm going to put something out. Whatever.
The album cover is a Teletubby.
That I hand drew that's on your mom's fridge right now.
We got to pop that up.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture.
Please do.
Yeah, and it's just got a bunch of like weird like name songs like Pumby Wumby and Boyo and Harry Potter's Thirst Trap, and it's just weird electronic. So when we didn't have like our songs out on Spotify, that was the only way you could hear what we might sound like. So we'd get booked for shows and they'll be like, oh yeah, I like your electronic like sound. I'm like, oh, we're not electronic at all. Like we're more of like a grungy bubble grunge type of aesthetic now. And at one point I totally forgot that I had put that out. But yeah, it's still up. I refuse to take it down. It's part of the history of buffchiq, and we're slowly putting more music out. But I feel like that's, if you like what you hear so far, I think that is a good reason to come out and see us at a show, because that's the only place you're going to hear our other music.
So you have to go see them if you want to hear the
this.
music. That's the deal. Great. Well, thanks for telling us a little bit about that part of your history. Love it. We're going to shift now into our lightning round. It's my favorite part of the episode. It's where we ask you questions that are super weird. I usually don't even read through them before, so I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know if you're even going to be able to answer them. But we're going to tell you the questions. We're going to go person by person. We're going to put some time on the clock. And the game is that you just try to answer as many as you can.
Okay.
So just think like rapid fire. That's lightning
so
round.
1, 2, 3.
Okay,
1,
Mike,
2,
me,
3. 1,
Matt,
2, 3.
okay.
Yeah.
If you're really stumped, you can say pass.
Yeah.
And we'll have mercy on you.
We'll consider having mercy.
Kyle's bad cop.
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm going to put a timer on in 3, 2, 1.
If you're honest with yourself, would a kidnapper return you?
Yeah.
Which type of dinosaur would you marry?
A T-Rex, I guess.
If you could only choose one for the rest of your life, potatoes or onions?
Potatoes.
Nice.
What's the grossest condiment?
Yellow mustard.
Worst liquid to fill a waterbed?
Oh, maybe cottage cheese.
Oh,
I guess.
that's a good answer. Which
liquid?
Sesame Street character has the most aura?
Big Bird.
For sure. Best superpower for a musician?
You never break a string.
Love that.
That one would help me out a lot, actually.
Is that the best superpower or just your kryptonite?
It would help.
Which fruit is biggest?
Watermelon.
Is it?
All right. If you had to
pretty big.
replace your hands, would you want spatulas or tongs?
Tongs.
Most aggressive way to eat a Kit Kat?
Horizontally, like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Corn on the cob
Yeah,
style.
it's corn on the cob style.
Insane.
Hamburger.
What animal is your biggest hater?
Mosquito.
Your band as a soda flavor?
Oh. Cherry.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh, nice. Correct. The worst thing you could hear a pilot say?
Oopsie daisy.
Most chaotic thing to do in a quiet elevator?
giggle, I guess. There's a story behind that. But yeah, it's a giggle.
We'll find out later.
10 seconds.
What is the villain of Soups?
SpaghettiOs.
Nice. Best gas station snack?
The Jamaican beef patty.
5,
Which celebrity would throw you overboard on the Titanic?
4.
Trump.
What a way to
The
go out.
Trumby.
Wait, you have to say you said there was a story.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Okay, so he just.
Oh man.
I'm thinking about him because he would be the most obnoxious in an elevator. Like if he has the giggles,
I should
there's
have gotten
no,
that question.
There's literally no controlling him. He'll keep me up. He'll like rile up the dog. If there's something serious going on, like a funeral or something serious, and he's got the
Yeah,
giggles, there's
I'm-
no controlling it.
It's
Oh,
bad.
that's funny.
And it's
bad.
obnoxious.
I'm so
And would
sorry.
you
Do you
say
remember
there's
when
an
we went
evil
to
tone,
Burp
or
No, it's just like
Oh yeah, we went to a bar called Burp Castle.
Burp Castle?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's like a monastery themed bar in the Lower East Side,
Yes.
and you have to speak at a whisper.
Yes.
You can't like
if you're
speak
speaking
above.
louder than a whisper, there's like something that comes on the speakers that goes shh.
It's
wait,
like-
I
have
love
to go
this.
It's awesome.
is
So
awesome.
of
Not a
course
great
I'm the
place.
worst person to bring in. At one
You
point,
got the
It was
Oh,
all
man.
part of the plan.
Getting kicked out of here.
I was like drunk enough that one of our friends like dared me to like drink a beer that spilled on the table, and I did it.
I came back from like the restroom there to find them all giggling, and like he's just drunk beer from the table. I'm like, we're getting out of here. We got to go somewhere else. No way.
If it wasn't of our own decision, it would have been their decision to kick us out 5 seconds after that.
Going back to the elevator thing, I one time sprayed a water gun full of hot cocoa inside of a crowded elevator with people wearing really nice clothes. That was a terrible thing that I did. I'm very sorry if you were affected by that.
Regrets.
I am very sorry that I did that.
I want to ask for context, but I also don't need any.
It was on a high school like concert band trip.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes
there
sense.
you go. There's 2 types of band kids.
that is true.
There's the saints, and then there's absolute demon band kids. And I know which one you probably were.
Amazing. This has been a really fun. Before we get going, you guys, we want to just see if there's anything you want to plug. Any new music coming out, shows, merch.
Yeah. So we have our single "Changes" out now. You can find it on all streaming platforms, including Bandcamp, where you can find our Electric EP. And our music video for Changes is also out. Shout out to Anthony J. Comey, Connor Long, and Brian Hoffman for helping me record that music video. And we are supposed to be playing SIP Studios in Jersey City on May 21st with Sorry Darling. So you can keep an eye out for that. Yeah, that's everything from my end.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been wonderful. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys.
Before we wrap up, anyone who's listening, make sure that you subscribe, listen, follow us on Instagram, and I almost said Tinder, but I meant to say TikTok.
That's a good way to promote your
We should.
your
Yeah, I don't know.
podcast. I would promote
Just having that on my phone
bands
is
on
not
like
a
Club
good idea
Penguin
for my
too.
girlfriend to see.
I used to promote my band on Club Penguin too.
Oh.
Yeah, just go on there.
Classic.
I really like this idea. We should get in the mix on that.
It's really guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, for real. Boots
It
on the
is.
ground.
Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe on Spotify, Instagram, and TikTok. Thanks, guys.